All right, you're alive.
Okay.
Okay, so Dardis recently acquired some custom tarot cards.
Yeah. Well, just tarot cards.
There's tarot cards. They're custom though.
We're
not. Yeah. So he laid them out. We don't really know much about tarot card reading, but
we know absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I mean, I've seen tarot cards right before. We're not going to read too much into it, like as far as like magic-y stuff. We'll go ahead and we've read how to administer a tarot card reading, and we're going to see what we get.
Yeah. Now, we're not very well versed in the meanings of each card.
So what we'll do is, since you have references there, when you pull a card, you can look it up and read us the meaning, or at least the basic summary.
I can try.
So if you want to pull that up.
Yeah, I got a
library of them.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead and that's our professional Dardis.
So, I guess the process is I think about a question.
Yeah, you think about a question. The person who is opposite to you shuffles it. I don't think you're supposed to shuffle it.
Oh, really?
No, but
do you want to do it again?
Do you want to do that again?
I think we should, because I want it to be. I mean, as unauthentic as this is actually going to be in totality, I want this to be at least somewhat.
Yeah.
Follow the book.
Yeah, we'll do the book.
If you would,
yeah.
if you will, the book of tarot cards.
Book of tarot cards.
Of 21 cards. It's actually. I assume the deck was so much larger.
I'm going to be very gentle with these cards.
Oh, please.
Since they're not laminated.
It's a custom.
Awkward.
Why don't you just
No, I'm
do
going to do that.
Just do it. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just be careful. There are some nails down there.
I'm not. I can see the nails, Dardis.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, so you go ahead and lay them out in that weird arrangement.
Okay. Yeah, this is just one of them. I happened to see while I was looking over your shoulder.
Okay.
So it seems simple enough.
Yeah.
Not that it's very complex.
The Space Invaders.
Yes. It does kind of look like a Space Invaders ship. Okay.
Alright, so I guess with this we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in the shape of a kind of a Space Invader.
Right, it's like a triangle.
So it's a triangle. We'll call it the pyramid.
That's not a bad.
We'll call it the pyramid.
Right. It kind of looks like a keystone arch, but less archy.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Maybe a question about yourself or about someone else.
That's a good question. I have a question. I do have a good question. Okay, so should I flip this first card?
Just pick a card. It doesn't have to be the first one.
Strength.
All right.
That I mean, from what my question is.
So go ahead and keep.
Let me look.
The question.
Should I look this up?
Go ahead and look up the strength card, and then after you're done reading the strength card, the summary of the strength card, you can go ahead and tell us what the question was.
Okay. So right off the bat, I see what looks like a lion. I guess.
Well,
I know. Just shut up.
These are custom cards, so the lion's
but
not
but
accurate
I mean, but that's actually pertinent.
Why don't you tell us what your original card? We'll give a reference in the description below of what the strength card looks like, and then
we will not do that. But okay, so
not the strength card.
The strength card is the 9th card of the major arcana, and it says that it does have roots within.
If you can look up one reading or speak up.
Okay, yeah, no, I got you. I can't.
No, just read it and speak up.
Okay, so it's not like, okay, so the strength card is the 9th card of the major arcana. It does have some roots, because I was looking at the card and there's a lion on it, and it does kind of like, it relates to the zodiac, it looks like, specifically to Leos. So traditionally, the strength card is depicted as a lion and a woman. The lion being the more predominant part of the card. Primarily. Yeah, and it seems that it symbolizes anger and rage and violence. Because normally it represents a red lion. A red lion normally symbolizes all those things. The woman, the man's basic, or the woman is basically, it looks like, I guess, feeding the lion. So feeding that rage, the anger, and the violence. But the strength card basically means it encourages you to get control over your anger, through an understanding of where it comes from. This card can indicate a need to change your approach to difficult issues with others as well, by seeking first to understand and accept the more negative aspects of yourself and others.
That's what strength is, I guess.
That's pretty awesome, actually. And do you want to know what my question is?
What is your question?
My question was, will I be successful in my career? And what do I have to do to be successful? And I was like, wow.
Holy.
That's kind of interesting.
Shit.
That blew my mind a little bit. That was just the first card.
All right, so
that's kind of awesome.
So rewind.
So my question was basically like, am I going to be successful, and what do I have to do to become successful? And I got the strength card.
And then the summary of strength is.
And the summary of strength is basically
figure out
to get control over your anger, to understand where it comes from, and to seek first to understand and accept the more negative aspects of yourself and others. That's
so.
So it sounds like
I want to go ahead and be the first to say this and share it with everyone. I always say that you're kind of a douchebag,
and they probably think that working with me.
Yeah.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
So maybe if you just.
But I'm a good guy.
Well, they don't know that. They just think you're a lion.
They just think I'm a lion with a chick feeding me, which is probably my boss. This is interesting.
All right, so
that's kind of cool.
Again, so let's. What I was just saying, rewind. So we could just be reading into stuff, but it is interesting that the first card is something that makes sense.
Right.
So.
Right.
On to the next question.
Okay. All right, I have to think of a question.
And don't go in order. Just pick.
Yeah, you know what?
First,
jump around a little bit.
Just pick your first. Your first instinct was to pick the card.
It was. I just wanted to go with the next card, but I didn't even think of a question, so I need to think of a question again. Yeah. So let me think for a minute.
By the way, this podcast again is, or this episode of Showbros is brought to you by the dark forces of Beyonce.
I don't want to ask the typical question because I really don't care about the typical questions. Like, will I find love? I don't care.
Again, you have to change. So stop not caring. Just gonna care a little bit. Here, have this grape. This is an interesting segment here.
There's so much I do want to know. So I do have 4 more questions. So let me just lightning into these. I'll do the simple one. Yeah. I don't care that much about this, but I figure.
I don't know.
Whatever. Let's just see what it says. Okay. I'm ready.
Go ahead and pull your card.
Let me tweak this question real quick. Make sure the vibe is getting to the card.
That's the magic.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's funny. That is funny. That's funny on so many levels.
So we have, how many cards are in this deck?
21.
21, and you pull this card. Now this card is the Hermit.
The Hermit.
Right.
Let me look up the Hermit.
Okay.
I have a general idea of what it means.
Oh
my god, and it fits so perfectly.
With your question?
It fits perfectly.
Right, so go ahead and read the Hermit card.
Okay, so the Hermit is the 10th card within the Major Arcana.
Okay, so before you continue, this card dropped. Just dropped randomly.
Alright, we need to put that one aside then.
We're going to keep this card here. Now, I've read...
You didn't touch it?
I didn't touch it. What? I've read that there was this weird technique. Okay, so I was watching a tarot card reading. And I don't know how legitimate this tarot card reading, but it seemed legitimate on the person who was getting read. And I remember them, the person who was doing the reading, held cards out, right, and kind of like, well, okay, let's just go ahead and put this.
Yeah, leave them.
Okay, and there's like some sort of jump out thing. So going back to that, this card jumped out, and that has to mean something.
There's paint on that. Let's just leave it on top.
Well, that's the top thing. All right, so go ahead, the Hermit.
Okay, so I know the Hermit card pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So the hermit is normally depicted as an older gentleman that has basically, he's making a face right now because he's like, yup, oldest dirt.
Oldest is a little older than you, not too much.
Not by even a little bit. It's only a little bit, really.
It's only a little bit.
So,
but I make fun of him all the time.
But so it's an older gentleman with a kind of walking stick and a robe, with a lantern, standing on top of, most of the time, like a snowy peak, sometimes through like a dark forest, and it's supposed to be him either in the process of a long journey or at the end of a long journey, and then he's using the lantern either to peer back at the path in which he's traveled or peering forward towards the darkness of the forest to kind of go into the unknown. And it's meant as like an introspective. So they kind of describe it here. It signifies guidance. This may be your own higher self speaking to you, or it may be advice given to you by a trusted friend or a seasoned professional. It is wise to listen to the wisdom offered and to your own gut. So it's basically saying, like, kind of like take advice from others and be introspective, look at yourself, make sure that this guidance is something that you can use to better yourself. And it can also mean, like, the hermit can also indicate a need to withdraw from the outer world.
To take time to yourself.
To take time to yourself.
Think about gain strength.
To gain strength. That's actually a good one. So now you want to know what my question was?
What was your question?
I said, what do I have to do? Because my initial question was, I'll just ask the basic question. Will I try and find true love? And I was like, but
so
that's...
You tweaked it? And what
I tweaked it. And I said, like, what? Yeah, basically, what do I have to do to find true love? And that's what it gave me. So it said, listen to the advice of others. And be more introspective.
Don't go looking.
But I don't. That's why I don't even care about that question. But I think it's telling me that, like, I probably should know more about myself than before I make the plunge into doing something like that. Mm-hmm. Which is, I think that's good advice for anyone.
That's the advice card.
That's pretty good. Yes. This is going to be future. I want you to tell me the future now. This is a good one. Yes.
So Dars is making crazy eyes while selecting the card.
I want to make sure I get this question exactly right. The Wheel of Fortune. Look that up.
That card.
I don't know anything about this one. So this is the 11th card of the Major Arcana. It is given the number 10, which corresponds to the number of Sephiroths. Reptos!
I can't make this shit up.
I can't make this shit up. Oh my god. I don't even know what a Sephiroth is. Anyway.
We should Google that.
We should. It's just going to give me pictures of Final Fantasy VII. But, okay, so it says, which corresponds to the number of Sephiroths in the Tree of Life. We'll table that. Let's table that for now.
Put that on the back burner.
Okay, so the wheel spins in the midway point of the Arcana, indicating a circular turning point. It is a metaphor for karma, fate, and destiny. The creatures pictured in the corners of the card symbolize the elements of the earth. So the card itself is actually, it looks like a wheel with differing symbols around the outside. It looks like there's 8 of them, and then 4 inside.
Totally 10.
So, 12.
12, yeah.
And then there's, it looks like 4 creatures on the 4 corners, At the top of it looks like a sphinx holding a sword, and below it looks like a red wolf-like character, almost. It looks satanic in nature.
Well, let's not say that. It could be.
Or I don't know.
Could be pagan.
But it looks dark. Whatever it is doing down there, it does not look good.
Yeah.
But
looks kind of like a gargoyle.
Could be a gargoyle. So it metaphors karma, fate, destiny. The creatures depicted in the corners of the cards symbolize the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. So that would be the four corners. Mm-hmm. Just as the pentacles, swords, wands, and cups of the tarot do. I'm sure that's probably a well-known art, but I'm not quite familiar with that. But the Wheel of Fortune indicates the situations in your life that are coming to a close, as well as new opportunities coming to replace them.
So it's a circle.
Yes. Major life decisions and milestones are coming, and some have just passed. Things you set in motion some time ago are beginning to bear fruit. Seeds you plant now will be when the wheel comes full circle again. When you step... Oh my God!
So seeds
this
planting,
is good.
So
this
like
is good.
Almost like I know, what are those, T-Evangelists? They're always like, plant your seed. There's just like donations, or like just setting something. Like, could be spending money, or investing time, or...
You're going to love my question. You're going to love it. So when you step back and examine the cause and effect of your present situation, you can adjust your actions accordingly to produce a better outcome. So here's what I asked. I asked, will I be rich?
Is that... That's the most simple question I've ever heard.
Because it's all I care about. I care more about love than my profession is wealth. I want it.
God, you're such an evil person.
Because it can give me everything else. Everybody says you can't buy love.
Oh, man.
It's a lie.
You're going to get hate for this one.
Bring on the comments. I will buy all of it. Now, they'll leave me in the end when I'm old, decrepit, and broke. But it'll be a good 20 years before they figure that out. 20 years of love, but with money. Yeah, anyway. No, I was just really interested to know, like, what it would say. But that's actually kind of cool that it says, like, right now, these are the seeds that I plant that could possibly lead to that.
It says...
And
it's saying later.
Later. Not right now. And you might want to really look at what you're doing right now to make sure that that's the outcome you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's what it's really saying. Which is pretty interesting.
That kind of corresponds with this card.
It does kind of. Introspective, gain some strength.
And this
and,
is to get... Yeah.
This is crazy. This is crazy shit. Okay, so now, next question. I got two more questions left.
It's good.
This is really interesting. I need to laminate these so we can do this more often. I'm just contemplating how deep I want to go with these questions too.
I think you should go deep because this is pretty interesting.
But because some of the questions I have, I'm like
very personal.
I don't want to go there.
We're not that synced with our audience yet, but coming in the future, maybe we'll come back to this. Let us know what you think of our tarot card reading, and maybe we'll go back and do it again.
And if you're curious to know what some of the questions are, comment. I can reply. Let you guys know. Maybe I'll put some salt and pepper in there and see what you guys think about it. I think I've asked, am I going to be successful in my career? Am I going to have wealth and riches?
Wealth and
love, I guess.
And you get the three.
Yeah, pretty much. So what's left? Would
you have to get specific? Again, that goes into personal kind
of. Can I do that? Can I just say like, okay?
Well,
you told me that.
I don't think you want something super specific.
Yeah, I think
something just.
I've gotten pretty satisfactory answers.
The realm of like.
I got a good one. And it's kind of a yes or no question, so I don't know how this is going to work out.
I don't know if yes or no is maybe if it's something specific, maybe it'll tell you. Well, actually.
Try again later. The try again later card. Let's look that one up. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a yes or no.
Is there a way you can phrase it where it's just kind
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to make it more ambiguous. Well, it is difficult. I mean, because I'm dealing with two constraints. It's like, I don't want to, A, ask things too personal, and B, I want it to be questions that hopefully are interesting.
Right.
So, I mean, here's what I'm thinking. Well, no, I can't tell you
can't
yet.
tell
I
us.
can't tell you yet. But I have a good idea for a question. I'm going to try it. I know it's a yes or no. I'm just going to see because I can't really phrase it any
YOLO.
other way. YOLO.
I like how you picked that card just immediately. You just went right for it. Okay, what do we got?
The Chariot.
The Chariot. Carry me on wayward song.
It's interesting you even sung that song. The Chariot is the 8th card of the Major Arcana and is number 7, whose quibblistics, I don't know, its significance is victory. The Chariot designates victory over the extremes in your life through balance, self-control, and enforcement of your true will. It can indicate success in battle against old patterns or vices by grounding and centering yourself. You can get a handle on your situation mentally and take the reins.
I'm seeing a trend.
Utilizing the power of your mind, you can chart the course to your goals. It's kind of a, rather than saying yes or no, it's kind of, if you want to, you can do it. My question was, will I return to California? And it's basically saying, I can do it. I could break through all that and be victorious and everything here and do that, kinda.
Had to look back. What?
So, like, the chariot denotes victory over extremes in your life through balance, self-control, and enforcement of your true will. It can indicate success in battle against old patterns and vices by grounding and centering yourself. You can be a handle on your situation, mentally taking the reins, utilizing the power of your mind. You can chart the course to your goals.
You can do it. Just be smart about it. Are you ready?
When the wheel of fortune has turned.
Man.
I don't know. That's interesting though. Okay, I got one question left.
You got one question left, man.
This has got to be good. And then there's the mystery card. We don't know what's going on with that.
Mystery card.
I think it was the Panther back there who was like no, and just like made it fall.
Isn't that Aquaman?
What?
Is that Aquaman's name? What was that? That was a superhero song.
Oh, there was Aquaman. Yeah, there was Aquaman.
Communicate. Logo with Aquaman. Are you excited about now? Like that's.
I don't want to talk about that.
All right, let's continue to be a part of it.
God damn you, Count Jogo. Okay, last question. Do I have to think of a question for this mystery card, or do I just pick it up?
I really think that mystery card is kind of just like.
And I just take it as
reference,
whatever.
just take it
Okay. So it's like a culmination. Have you ever played Age of Empires?
Yeah.
Ayo.
Do you have
Ayo.
Do you have Age of Empires?
Wololo.
Do you have Age of Empires?
Wololo.
Convert it.
And then just walk away. Son of a bitch.
Bull then.
Okay, so last question. Chucky Dakil.
Is that Theo?
I have no clue what that means. Please write in the comments if you know. It's so point of reference. It's what they said on the holodeck when Worf went through the hallway with the pain sticks, and Klingon soldiers were stabbing him with the pain sticks. It basically activates all the pain receptors in your body.
Ooh.
And you have to walk the entire hallway. And each time you come up to the next two, and they're like on podiums above you, they say, Chaki Dakil. And they stab you with it. And it activates all your pain. You're and you have to keep on your feet. And then when they remove it, you keep walking and you go to the next one. Chaki Nagil. And they do it again. And there's like 8 of them.
Ooh.
And then by the end of it, you're just like, thank you. With some passing of rights. Right. Anyway, so tell me what that means if you happen to know. So this last question. So I know kind of to stay away from yes or no's. I can answer them, but it's most likely going to be more ambiguous.
I mean, I think that was
That's
kind
still
of appropriate.
That's still kind of appropriate.
A chariot implies, going somewhere. It's movement.
Yeah, I mean that's more what I got out of it because I was thinking
it's very
chariot.
Simple.
Yeah, it's an interesting chariot. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, here we go. The Hierophant. I don't know anything about that, but it's probably my favorite looking one. The Hierophant is the 6th card of the Major Arcana, and is given the number 5 to indicate transformation and flux. If your situation involves your career, the Hierophant indicates employment in a large corporation with strict requirements and expectations. The Hierophant symbolizes a knowledge of rules, regulations, customs, and acceptable methods used in the situation, but does not restrict you to those traditional answers. You may have to go outside of the standards when it is in your own best interest to do so.
It's like professional. It's very like there's rules and is this like a business question?
It is.
Industry. This is the standards. Okay.
So I did ask something about Showbros.
Did you?
I did.
And that's a very specific
That's
card.
very specific.
That's a very specific
So
card.
my question was, I said, will Showbros be successful? And how will we achieve that success? So apparently, if your situation involves your career, the Hierophant indicates employment in a large corporation with strict requirements and expectations. I see YouTube.
I see sponsorships.
And sponsorships, maybe. The Hierophant symbolizes the knowledge of rules, regulations, and customs, the acceptance of methods used in the situation, but does not restrict you to those traditional answers. You may have to go outside the standards when it is in your own best interest to do so. Okay. So let's do this mystery card.
Let's do this mystery card.
Because I'm interested just to see what it is.
All right, let's go.
Am I just going to flip it? I'm flipping it right now.
Yeah.
It's Justice.
Okay.
The card is Justice.
Oh my god, look at how this pyramid completed just a second.
Yeah, I didn't even do that on purpose. I was just like, oh, it's the only free spot, but that actually looks great.
Just so you know that what you guys can't see is the pyramid is there, and he placed the card at the base of the pyramid. So now it's like a Super Space Invader.
Right. Yeah, it's a Super Space Invader now. Okay, so Justice is the 12th card of the Major Arcana, and is given the number 11, which is considered a master number in numerology. Justice urges you to examine your past and how the actions of your past have brought you to your present. In doing this, you realize how what you do right now will influence who you become in the future. You must accept that your present situation is one you helped create. In doing so, you can cut through the illusions of events to the wisdom you should gain from them. You can then begin to consciously take action to manifest better situations in your future. The Justice card often appears to signal that people are getting what they deserve. If the situation in question has legal ramifications, it can indicate a fair trial, a settlement, or winning in any general legal battle. The honest side will triumph.
I think that's like summing up everything.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
That's like South Philly. That's talking about South Philly, dude, right there.
Yeah.
That's talking about South Philly.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And that's a random card.
That's crazy. I mean, it's hard for me to say that I fully believe in any of this stuff, and I have for a while looked at like astrology stuff, and like I only really looked at it as like a glimpse of something that could be, but probably isn't 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
But I always looked at it as like, why not? You know, like why would I just turn my gaze away from it, even though I guess there's no real basis for it being accurate. But I used to read like the paper, and it would say like, you know, if you're an Aries, you should watch out for unexpected change today. I'm like, sure, why not? It's a good thing to look out for anybody, right? So I always took the advice. But I don't know. I think this is all really interesting. I would love to ask more questions just to see what it gets.
If you'd like us to ask more questions, let us know in the comment section below. And
let me know what your questions are.
Yeah,
we can ask them on your behalf. We might get really good at it, and we can do readings through comments. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. That could be actually a series. Let us know if you'd like to see a series on tarot card reading.
I think it would be interesting. We'll see. All right. Well, that's our show. I'm Lowtide.
And I am Iron Fox.
And this is Showbros. Good night.